George Orwell once said that all forms of art are propaganda. One of the things you learn about V-blocking is you could express to you some levels of belief structures that are prevalent in a culture amongst different kind of people. One of the things I've learned in some of the blogs I've been doing on popular culture and political advertisement is that I quote unquote read too much into this. In this particular case, in an Iron Man blog, that was kind of a fun analysis I gave, a person actually said that to try to reason about the truth or intention or cultural context of a movie was retarded and stupid. Then the person went into, well, it won't go, got rather personal. Um, I just assumed that it was common knowledge that cinema and television and fictional stories can carry political messages. As I said, Orwell's concept that all art is propaganda. But I think what I want to quote from here is a book I've been reading called The Nazis in Cinema, which has informed the degree of my thinking in cultural studies, by Susan Tegel. Now, Susan Tegel has an interesting quote, I think, that could keep in line. This is about what Goebbels was saying during the when he was taking over the Ministry of Propaganda. Goebbels addressed the radio and film personnel, calling on them to produce films comparable to Eisenstein's Battleship Potemkin. Quote, if a nationalist sees the film Battleship Potemkin today, he is in danger of becoming a communist because the film is so well made. Okay? It goes on to say that this expressed his profound belief in the power of film propaganda. However, despite the arts generally serving as vehicles for propaganda, and feature films in particular, Goebbels still preferred the messages to be covert rather than overt. Okay? He said, quote, propaganda becomes ineffective the moment we are aware of it. Okay, those are the words of Goebbels. Propaganda becomes ineffective the moment we are aware of it. All right. The fact is that the key element, if we want to try to understand the media culture we live in, is to try to see what the messages, the propaganda messages that are going on all the time around us covertly are. Um, the particular person who said that this was retarded is of no significance, but I keep hearing more and more people saying, oh, you're reading too much into the symbolism. And the analysis I did of the Chinese professor advertising, people saying, oh, you're reading too much into the communist posters on the wall, or the fact that they're all Chinese. It's in our culture, okay, we are being inundated with media everywhere, and everybody, it's sort of strange, everybody sort of understands that there is a lot of money being put into constructing this media, and certain messages are being given to us. Okay, we really need to stop to think about what is going on here, what is being propagated to us, what people are trying to do through media, particularly through a television and film that is all owned by other large businesses. If you look at the Iron Man movie, it's just no escaping that the Iron Man movies are ads for the jet fighter project over the drone fighter project. It isn't even it isn't even actually covert. In the first film, it's actually discussed openly in the film that you should have a piloted plane over a drone plane. Now, this isn't exactly what the military is doing. The military, you're looking at Afghanistan. The situation is actually that in a war on terrorism, drone planes are highly more effective. Drone planes are kind of winning. But for Lockheed Martin and Boeing and everyone else who wants to make fighters and bombers, drone planes are not very profitable. Okay, so these industries and groups get along with companies like Condé Nast and other people who are involved, and also Condé Nast is involved in Iron Man. There's Condé Nast magazines and outlets throughout Iron Man movie, I mean, the whole introduction is a huge ad for Condé Nast. Okay, clearly there's an effort to make political and economic points there. It is. They don't even make an effort to hide it. And anybody who's going to sit there and say, "Oh, you know, either you have to ignore it," you're just blind. I mean, you just look at the first Iron Man movie. Count how many Condé Nast publications there are in it, and how many non-Condé Nast publishers. They run an entire intro set that's just basically telling you what Condé Nast's publishing set is, all the way from Wired. They even include Condé Nast in it. It's infuriating. They even include Vanity Fair somehow in the list. I mean, she's a journalist from New York Times. She's a journalist from Vanity Fair. If you don't see any of this, okay, it's blind. You're blind. It isn't even in Iron Man. It isn't even trying to hide. It's right there in front of your face. Look at this ad. Look at this. Listen to this. You should tell your politicians we don't want drones. We want to get jet fighters because after all, Lockheed Martin makes way more money on it. It's just it's. I actually feel a bit guilty for actually responding to ideals like this, but it concerns me that they are so commonly held. And I think this is one of the reasons why democracy doesn't work effectively.